I know that this footage is from Practice vs AI, but it was the only chance I got to play him this entire weekend because everyone and their mum was insta-locking him. Anyway, you have to be smoking some kind of illicit substance if you think Ultron is a support because he's about as supportive as your granddad when he sees a gay person on TV. Sure, he can heal, but it's very much a secondary thing that he doesn't really need to think about because his drone does all of the work for him. Outside of the Iron Man team-up, he's basically just a third DPS. I know that off support exists, believe me, I used to one-trick Lucio in Overwatch, but this is just ridiculous. There's off support, then there's whatever Ultron is. If I had to compare him to anyone in Overwatch just to make his playstyle a bit easier to understand, I'd say he's closest to Zenyatta, but he doesn't have anything like Discord orbs, instead offering a shield to teammates for a split second. Plus his Orb of Harmony ability does AoE rather than healing one specific teammate at a time. It's not awful, but it's not great either. The majority of his healing comes from the beam he gets when he teams up with Iron Man, but that requires someone actually playing Iron Man, something that, strangely enough, I never really see. I don't know whether it's an elo thing or if he's just not a very popular hero, but the likelihood of him being on my team is usually pretty low. Problems also occur when people ban Iron Man in comp because it means that Ultron can only play at about half of his full power, meaning the other support has to lock in and sweat their ass off to make sure everybody else stays alive. Ultron works best when he's pocketing a teammate with his drone and shield, as he can just focus on that one hero and make them near enough. It's a shame because there was so much potential for him, especially because we need more supports at the minute. Since the support strike, I feel like literally nobody plays support and instead insta-locks DPS because they're that petty. Yeah, not even tank, they just want to play DPS. This isn't the devs' fault, it's the community being petty and toxic for absolutely no reason whatsoever. They need to get their heads out of their own asses. But if the team did add more support heroes, then hopefully more players will gravitate towards the role because there's more variety. I think that's what they were hoping would happen with Ultron since they made him an off support. He does more damage than healing, so it would make sense for DPS players to give him a go and kind of broaden their horizons and adventure into the support role. But this, unfortunately, wasn't quite enough of a draw. It sucks for the entirety of Rivals because even though I tend to dog on it, especially over the recent weeks, I want it to be successful. I want it to be a genuine competitor to Overwatch and open the devs' eyes so both games progressively get better because they're always head-to-head when it comes to what the games offer. But, at the minute, all Rivals has to offer is the Marvel IP. Over Overwatch, that took way more than one take to say. They have nothing but team-ups and destructive environments. No cool game modes or anything like that, it is literally just those two things and the IP of Marvel as I mentioned before. I know the game is still in early days and this is only the second official season, but it's looking rough. And I hope they realize that they're messing around a bit too much when it comes to balancing and adding new stuff that doesn't really need to be in the game. Sharknado is cool, like don't get me wrong, but it is such a gimmick because A, it requires you to have two heroes that aren't exactly the best picks, and B, it costs 2 ultimates. I know this was the case with the Johnny and Storm team up, but looking back on it, it also wasn't anything special when we compare it to other ults in the game. It is one of those gimmick team-ups, and, you know, it's funny, and it does do a lot of damage, but just, I don't know, play Magneto, throw something at them. But that just about does it for this video. There's really not much to say about Ultron other than he isn't really a support. Yes, he can heal, but it's not his main focus. Dealing damage is his main focus, oddly enough. He just leaves more to be desired when it comes to supports. It's good that we have a new off support, but he's not even that good compared to the likes of Loki or Adam Warlock. Honestly, you're better off playing someone else at the minute because he's just pretty shit. Anyways, thanks for watching. I'm gonna ask you to subscribe and leave a like on this video as it lets me know that you've enjoyed it and want to see more. Finally, have a nice day or night if you're watching this at night, and make sure you check out some of my other videos. Not only will I appreciate it, but you might too.